RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Rational Investor. This is Julian. I'm coming in from Bangkok, Thailand, as normal, wearing a green shirt today. Green custom shirt. It looks very shiny on camera. I didn't realize it looks much nicer on the camera than it does in real life. I mean, in real life, I think it's good, but on the camera, it's amazing. You guys are in for quite the treat with this shirt tonight. This shirt says money, and that is what we're going to talk about. Just like every week, though, to be honest. It's about money. That's what trading breaks down to. Money, discipline, and patience, which can be applied to a lot of things in life. Discipline and patience. As a guy, you will not be successful if you don't have discipline and patience. That's what you need, and that's what I've learned. Okay, so I'm going to load up the YouTube video, and I'm going to see what you guys are saying in there. Sorry for being 5 minutes late. I apologize to everyone. Just a little bit behind schedule here. Actually, it's kind of normal, right? I'm always kind of a little bit behind schedule, so that's kind of a normal thing. Everyone should be kind of used to that by now. I'm letting the chat load, and then I'm going to shrink my screen, and we're going to get into the charts. We're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to boom, go through things, my basic spiel, and then we'll go to the after party where I will answer any and all questions you guys have about individual stocks, crypto names, whatever you guys want to talk about. What it's like in Thailand, how the lady boys are. I know you guys love that. Okay, Michael, hello, good morning. Fuzzy, hello, good morning. Michael, another Michael Dutton, hello, Constantine, hello, Gills. How is everyone this morning? Don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, blah, 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 all that stuff. Participate, guys. I do these live shows so I can participate with you and talk to you. I know we're on a little bit of delay, but, okay. I'm going to shrink myself. Down here in the corner. Hello in the corner. Let me know if the little screen is too small, and I will make myself bigger. But if you like little tiny mini me, then also give it a like. Hello, Luke. Luke. Let's start off with the investor sentiment survey. What's going on here? Last week I talked about the big drop in bullishness and how there was a possibility that a rally might happen, and that's exactly what we got. We got the rally. And now, today, the market is dumping. Although our bullish numbers have still dumped more, and people have increased in bearishness, which is interesting and very surprising to me. I thought that the bullish factor would reverse. This is a bit of a red flag. We're kind of equal on all fronts with bulls, bears, and people neutral. Definitely a huge increase in the number of bears. That's slightly disconcerting to me. I didn't want to see this increase this much just yet. I don't know why this keeps showing up. Let's check options before we jump into the charts. Okay, max pain right here at about 4,440. So where is the S&P? Yeah, so 4,440 would be up here, right there. So it dumped a bit more than it should have. But even in this area, 4,000. Let me see something. 4,000. 4,000's right here. It's still pretty painful. You're still killing a lot of calls and getting most of the puts. Maybe if it goes up a little bit, you'll destroy a lot more puts. So that's good. And oops. Hopefully OBS did not get disconnected. OBS reconnection successful. Hopefully there's no issue with the YouTube stream. I just saw some weird pop-up. Anyway. We've got FOMC Harker speaking. That already happened, or he's doing it now. And we've got Jackson Hole Symposium. So, obviously, if Jackson Hole is going on, that's going to cause a lot of fluctuations. And I would recommend being careful with trading the next 2 days. Because there's going to be some wild fluctuations depending on what comes out of Jackson Hole. So next 2 days, be careful. What about going into next week? Monday, nothing interesting. Consumer confidence, JOLTS jobs openings. So by Tuesday, you're going to have to look at these reports. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's about it until the core PCE price index comes out and CPI. Oh, no CPI. That's for CHF. Yeah, and then non-farm on Friday. But I'll talk to you before then. The big thing is Jackson Hole. Be careful. Don't trade in big size this week. You're going to get run over. All right, so that's kind of like the macro overview. Let's jump into the charts and let's kind of talk about what's going on overall. Let's start from a higher time frame view. So I talked about last week that I expected a bounce in the markets. There were multiple reasons for that, but one of the big reasons was the fact that we have this weekly uptrending RSI. We were tagging the bottom of it, and we were tagging the midpoint of this channel. And you can see how if we go down to a lower time frame, we bounced from this midpoint, and we're kind of just sitting around in this channel right here around the midpoint, along with the 50-day moving average. And you can also see, like, right, this was a breakout. Why not do a strangle? I mean, you could if you think there's going to be a breakout in either direction, but the market could just break up to the upside, break to the downside, and then just end up doing nothing, and then you're screwed, right? And with Jackson Hole being around, the implied volatility is probably very high on all the options, making it expensive. So they'll do a spike to the upside, a spike to the downside, and all you'll get is your premium destroyed because the IV will dump. That's the issue there. I think the majority of strategies, you're gonna lose money, and that's the point of options. The reason why market makers still issue options is because they make so much money from them. Like if they didn't make tons of money from them, they would have stopped issuing them a long time ago. Market makers write most of the options, and retail buys them. So, you know, who controls things ultimately? I think options are a fool's errand to a good degree, and I think there's easier ways to make money. It's just there to tempt you into doing something stupid. So that's my opinion. Hello, Nick. 4-hour chart. So we had the breakout, bounce to the upside, as I discussed. And now, let me adjust our uptrending channel here. We had this. We had this. We're kind of breaking down from this uptrending channel, and it does not look good. If the market does not bounce soon, we could be heading to new lows down here at the 4,200 area, probably after Friday tomorrow. But again, it's Jackson Hole, so anything could happen. Hello, JJ. But RSI is broken down. We just got to see how this closes out on this 4-hour chart. It looks pretty bad. We've got an hour and 45 minutes left. Let me look on like a 1-hour time frame. 15 minutes showing potential for reversal here. So again, I would wait till this 4-hour closes to make a decision. If we can get a big bounce, then we can move higher to the upside. Otherwise, this was a big fake out, and we could move to the downside. But my opinion is that we're just gonna do something like this, like that, just like chopping to either side until options expire. That's what I'm seeing, unless something really big comes out of Jackson Hole, which, as you guys know, technical analysis works best in the absence of news. If there is big news, which Jackson Hole is a news event, you know, all the analysis I'm doing today goes out the window, and the market's just going to do what it wants to do within seconds based on that news. And that's why my best advice that I can give you is to not trade until next week. Just chill. Let the market do what it's going to do. Yeah, the market makers will use these news events to liquidate both sides and collect as many fees as possible, if that makes sense. Okay, sorry, I had to drink some water. It's like very hot in here. Wait 1 second. I turned off my air conditioning. Okay. So I wish I had a better call of exactly what I think is going to happen with the S&P, but it's in one of those no man's zone areas. I mean, before, back in July, it was pretty obvious short at the top. And then down here last Thursday, it was a pretty obvious, there's a likely bounce area. But now it's in a tough spot, especially with the Jackson Hole Symposium. I mean, there is the dollar index where you have this huge breakout, and I thought we would pull back on the 7, 8, and 9, especially with this huge trend line. But we're pushing through. So if this continues to push through on the dollar, I mean, you can expect everything else will likely head lower. Dollar is very, 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 very strong here. And if the weekly chart, if the dollar can keep pushing higher above this 105 level, I mean, wait 1 second. Oh, shit. Hello. Testing. Okay, you're hearing from my headset. Wait 1 second. Let's try okay, testing. Yeah. So it should be working now. Sorry about that, guys. I got excited. I hit my microphone with my arm, and that caused the sound to I guess it rattled the cable or something, and that made the sound disappear. So my apologies, getting way too excited talking about the dollar. The Matrix does not like me exposing the future moves to everyone here. You're not allowed to know what their plan is. Exactly. Hello, Quinn. Hello, Bill. Welcome. I don't know who that Josh guy is. If you guys can kick the guy named Josh Morris out of the chat room, I would appreciate it. Hello, Koss. Hello, Mr. Cole. Always appreciate having you here. Love the participation from everyone. So, okay. Anyway, as I was saying, US dollar could potentially really take off here. See how it's moving through my VIP zone? If this confirms and closes up here on the weekly, this is a very, very, very bullish signal for me. So I'm watching closely for this. The 3-day does have an 8, which is a bearish sign, but that's why we have to wait and see if we can get this breakout. Because if we can and we push higher, there's no reason why we can't at least go to 105, 105.5, 106. Take out all these highs. That's going to be a big resistance area. All right, like this, right? That. It's going to be your big resistance area right up here at 106. So everything revolves around that. If that pushes higher, gold should push lower, stock should push lower, crypto should head lower. It's a big thing that I'm watching, and it's at a very critical juncture, probably the most critical point since this breakdown here in November 2022, which was kind of like the start of the reversal window of the market. Like this November period was when all the market kind of started to reverse and head back up. And you can see that's when the dollar stagnated. Now, if the dollar goes and begins trying to rally again, then you can expect that the entire market will reverse and head lower. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Let's take a quick look at gold. Go to a weekly chart. Gold's kind of fallen off the bandwagon here. Fell out of my uptrending channel and is now in a downtrend. And I need to see this weekly RSI break out for this downtrend, this downtrend, for me to consider it over. Let me go to a daily chart. 3-day. Let's go to a 3-day. I'm going to delete a bunch of these lines because it looks confusing. Right, like that. And you can see even on the 3-day with increased visibility, we still have this downtrend. And if I go to a daily, see we had this breakout and gold after the move lower, and you can see we pushed higher, which I had a nice long trade on this that I took profits at about 1920. And now on the 4-hour, I've been watching to see if we'll get a reversal. I'm surprised how resilient gold has been in the face of this US dollar 0.5% rally. It's a significant rally, and yet gold is up. Gold is up. How is it up? I'm a little bit shocked by that, but it just proves to you that even if the dollar is up, gold does not necessarily always go down. But it is at a massive resistance level. My heuristic channel, along with the 200, well, it's not 200-day, it's like 200-point moving average on a 4-hour chart, providing resistance. This is a big resistance point, along with we hit a 7 and 8. Not to mention the fact that your daily chart is hitting the major resistance at the VIP level. This would be the ideal spot to see a pullback in gold. And that's what I'm looking for. And I am short from basically here. And you can see how they put in, we have massive divergence on this 1-hour chart, right? So price is the same level. Actually, price made a tiny higher high. But look at the RSI. Major lower low. So, you know, I think it is very simple trading. On the tag of this higher high, I got into a short. Let me check my exact entry for you guys. That's how you know this is real, because I have to check the entry. Okay, so I shorted, it's not a huge size. I shorted a 0.3 lots of gold. And the reason it's small size is because Jackson Hole is going on, and I don't want to take excessive risk right now. Who knows what could happen? So I keep the size small. I took a short at 19, right here, 1921.9. Okay. And with my stop, thankfully, right up here at 1924, basically. Because I always try to see where the previous high is, and I give myself at least $1 of margin above the previous high, because sometimes they just go like 10 cents, 20 cents right above the previous high, stop everyone out that was set their stops right at that previous level, cut them all out, and then it finally reverses. So I try to give myself a little bit more of a margin of error, a very small one, but it sometimes makes a big difference. And in this case, it did, and I'm in a nice trade now. And I'm considering moving my stop to break even already, but probably not. Usually I like to see it move at least $5 away, at least with gold, before I move my stop to break even. And right now we are only $2 away from my original entry. So yeah. Okay, that's gold. I'm bearish on it for now. It looks like it's topping out, which is bullish for the dollar, and it should reverse and head lower. The question is, where does this downtrend stop? Where does gold eventually end up? I think we can look at chaos for that, which is, this was your M, basically here. Like that, and that. It's a conservative, some conservative levels. Right, like this. Let me get rid of some of this. Yeah, that looks acceptable. Yeah, so then this targets 1845, which is the previous support zone. So if gold gets rejected here, we could target down to this 1845 level. I don't see why that's not possible. I know we could also do an ABCD, but I think it's going to be way too extreme with its final target. You know, the final target is all the way down here at 1930. Find that hard to believe that it'll get that low, but potential if the dollar rallies hard like it looks like it wants to. You know, there's no reason why that couldn't happen. Okay, so that's gold. That's my thoughts on gold. Be careful, Jackson Hole and everything. What else do I want to tell you guys about? Is there anything in the legacy markets? I talked about S&P. I talked about gold. I talked about the dollar. I mean, we could talk about NVIDIA, but I think I'm going to save NVIDIA for the after party and give my thoughts on that in the after party. I think that's a specific stock I want to save for then. You know what? Screw it. Let's talk about NVIDIA. Let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA had the massive earnings blowout. But let's see what, I mean, we all know the fundamentals here on this one, but let's see what is the chart saying. We've got this weekly chart, and what do we see on this weekly chart with RSI in comparison to price action? Like, and also stochastic RSI. What do you guys see here? Is this a stock that you want to be buying, or is this a stock that you want to be selling? What could be the reason that, I mean, obviously earnings were really amazing, so of course the stock's going to pop, but the valuation is insane now. The PE ratio apparently is still way off the charts. Why would you buy up here? Is this a buying zone or a selling zone? Oh, I'm gonna get some water while you guys think about that. I need someone to answer. I think it's a very easy question. Yeah, I think Michael, you gave the best answer with take profits. That tag of 500 probably got a lot of people very excited. That's your BFRN. I think that this is definitely a zone where you want to start taking profits. Okay, 100% take profits. You don't want to be buying up here. Extremely dangerous. Some might even say that this is a great zone to consider shorting, right? So you've broken down on the weekly chart. You have massive divergence on the weekly and the daily chart, and you tagged your BFRN already and got rejected from it. You're filling the gap. There's no reason why this should stay up here other than basically from 400 in May to now at 500 almost. This has been essentially a distribution range. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. This whole range looks like a distribution. And now we can target the move to the downside, which again, I know is not going to be perfectly accurate right now, but a move to 150 on the downside wouldn't be surprising. All it would take is like a massive crash with the Chinese economy, right? And then they can't buy NVIDIA's chips anymore. I don't even think they can now. I think they forward bought a lot of NVIDIA chips, which caused the massive spike in the earnings. And now there are these huge restrictions on buying the chips. So NVIDIA is not going to make as many sales because they can't sell to China. That's a possibility. But again, I don't want to comment too much on the macro because I just feel like I haven't educated myself enough. I'm simply going off the chart, and the chart says that, you know, we're getting divergence, and that means that they're selling. There's underlying selling pressure. So be careful with NVIDIA. Don't, you know, if you've been long for a while, consider taking a little bit of profits here. Okay, Bitcoin. Let's get into crypto. Oh my God. Oh, sorry, guys. Super tired. Again. Well, how much are we into this? Let's see here. I'm loading my own YouTube stream. About 23 minutes in. Yeah. Okay, 24 minutes. All right, so we're going to look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to call it a day. Bitcoin is sitting down here in the red zone. That is not a good sign. Oftentimes when I see something like this on a daily chart where it had its extended uptrend and then a breakdown, and then it just sits down there, it's a huge red flag that this move has more to go. And it's not done yet. Now, is there a possibility for a reversal? Yeah, of course. But in my experience, we have further down to go, which would probably look something like this. And it would take you down to about 22,850, which is right down here. Nice liquidity zone. But ultimately, I would, of course, like to see it wick down into 20,000, that area. That's the green buying window. But I would be careful buying too much here. I think you're going to see further selling pressure. It's just going to roll over once the legacy market also rolls over. Hopefully that makes sense. 4 hour, really just waiting for this 4 hour to break down. Once it does, that's when everything will roll over. The daily's already telling you, like, okay, warning, warning, warning. We're just waiting for the 4 hour to confirm, but we already know where we're going. It's like we're going down in this direction. We're just waiting for the green light, which is, in my case, for me, the 4 hour RSI crossing bearish. Once that happens, this should, you know, break down to the downside and hit 23,400 or 23,000. I don't know what just happened to my charts there. That's all I have on Bitcoin. I don't really have like too much I need to get into, actually. Total obviously looks exactly the same. Let's look at total 3 really quick, which is altcoins minus. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all the same. But the daily chart, sorry, the daily chart doesn't look as bad. It really doesn't. 3-day, weekly. So weekly is just sitting around oscillating. Nothing really interesting. It's done basically nothing since June of last year. Did you run into a railroad track on the daily? Let me go back to it. Yeah, it might right here. You're talking about this, the big spike and then reversal. I'd have to look up exactly what I don't use railroad tracks myself personally, so I'd have to look up exactly what it should look like before I say, like, yes, it's definitely a railroad track. But maybe someone watching knows what 100% a railroad track looks like. I can't say yes or no, but it's definitely a sweep of liquidity and a reversal, I can tell you that much, which is a bearish sign, on top of the fact that this RSI looks like steaming dog poop. Like just this pure garbage. I don't know how much clearer of a signal you need than this, just sitting in the red like it's dead. Okay, I think we're at about 30 minutes, guys. I'm gonna call it a day on here, take like a 2-minute break, and then we're gonna do the after party. In the after party, I will do a little bit more analysis on NVIDIA. We're gonna talk about a couple other tech stocks, what's going on with them, Meta, Apple, basically like the FANG stocks driving the market. We might take a look at silver, and we're definitely going to look at Litecoin. You probably see Litecoin up in the corner. I'm going to look at Litecoin, Ethereum, and maybe I might even look at a couple shit coins, and we're going to talk about all of that and see if there's any signals that we can find to make some serious money. Okay, appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you're a member, join me in the after party right after this. All right, bye everybody.